Welcome back to Tearing into TCG. I've been playing a lot of competitive Pokemon lately, and I haven't really been uploading Trading Card Game Live. Also, thanks to Corey for the thumbnail and the way to make these thumbnails. Let's get into it, because I have a match post Space Rocks Goldengo. If you don't know what that is, we'll get into it later. No worries, I'll also leave it in the description how Goldengo got boosted up with the Space Rocks. So anyway, we've got one of these best Goldengo matches I have ever had, and I am actually playing Excadrill Greninja. And definitely, I don't know if you're drilling the strategy or kind of digging it. Either way, I'm going to go ahead and use Crispin. I'm going to go ahead and put a water into my hand and attach the fighting to the Excadrill, and then go for a Nest Ball for a Froakie. I played this on my phone, so I apologize if anything is a little bit out of dimensions, but I'll keep you in the loop, no problem. So basically right here, I'm just going to go ahead and go with Squawk and Seize. That's going to hopefully let me discard some stuff, and then I can also go for Motivate to attach 2 energies to any of my bench Pokemon from the discard pile. Also, I'm going to put the Hero's Cape onto the benched Drillbur. Now, originally, this is when Excadrill came out. Everybody was playing Excadrill with Froslass, because Froslass dealt damage to everything on the bench per turn. So it was a spread damage. The thing about Excadrill is it's Piercing Drill for spread damage, and then Rock Tumble does like 220. So anyway, he's going to go for the Cypher's Codebreaker. That's going to allow him to put any 2 cards on his top of his deck, and as long as he can draw those 2 cards with Goldengos, he's going to be in a really good position compared to me. Actually, the Squawk and Seize actually put me in a pretty okay situation. And his Make It Rain is only for 50 damage. Now, Squawkabilly being an EX, I will lose 2 prize cards. But this works out well, because after the Squawk and Seize in the draw, I get into the Excadrill and get a Professor's Research off, which allows me to discard and draw. That lets me get into Frogadier. Now, the reason I'm running Greninja EX here is because I am so much of a fan of the Terra Orb package. Not necessarily Terra Orb, but the Noctowl set, and also the one Rotom with Air Call, so that I can basically get Hoot Hoot and Noctowl right off the bat. Jewel Seeker allows you to get any 2 trainer cards as long as you control any Terra Pokemon. I run this a lot in my main deck because one of the Terra Pokemon in that main deck is pretty much toolboxed and pretty much very easy access, if you will. He's got 3 Goldengos out. You can't tell right now, but he's going to draw a ton of cards. He's going to draw like 3 cards and then go for the Arven. The first time he went into the Decisive Band and something else, I think he Ultra Balled for those. But now he's looking for a tool and an item card to stick it in his hand. He gets an Evolution and a Nest Ball. That is really nasty. He's probably going to Nest Ball for whatever and then use Evolution, attach it to Goldengo. Oh, wow. Not what I expect him to do. Goes for Fezandipity EX. That's going to put him in a very nice situation there, because Fezandipity EX, flipping the script, when you lose a Pokemon, you get to draw 3 cards, 2 cards, something like that. This is a custom deck. I was playing like Air Balloon instead of Rescue Board, because basically I wanted Stage 2 to have free retreat cost. I'm going to go ahead and play Hilda. This is going to allow me to get Noctowl and, of course, my Water Energy to my hand. Also, I can use Ultra Ball to discard that Ultra Big Balloon and switch. Go ahead and put Hoot Hoot in my hand. Again, Greninja EX is a Terra Pokemon, so that's going to turn my Jewel Seeker online. Also, the reason I thought this deck would work well with Excadrill's Piercing Drill is because you're running multiple types of energy, and you're using Mirage Barrage, which allows me to deal 120 to 2 Pokemon. One of the Goldengos, and of course the Fezandipity discard 2 cards, because they can't flip the script if they lose Fezandipity. So that's a very cool thing. Plus, it allows me to hit with Piercing Drill for 60 and then 60 to any of the bench Pokemon that I want. Froslass is probably a bit more consistent, considering it's a consistent Stage 1 and this is a Stage 2. But, we can't all be, beggars can't be choosers, you know what I'm saying? So he's going to go for a Nest Ball again. I'm doing a lot of spread damage to try to make Fezandipity not as good. He's going to put the Togepi onto the bench there. I'm assuming it's going to be the one that prevents you from getting an extra prize card. He doesn't do enough with a Greninja or with Goldengo, and he does discard 3 energies. So now I'm going to go for a Jewel Seeker here, and I get to put any 2 trainer cards into my hand. That's going to be Nest Ball and Energy Retrieval, knowing that I need that energy later on, and I'm going to go ahead and get Okie Dokie, another really cool tech card that I play. By the way, if you want to check the deck out, it's going to be down below in the description as well. I highly encourage you to check it out. I don't know how viable this thing is in the Mega TCG format. It might be too slow for like Mega Venusaur and things like that, but I played this before the Mega TCG format came out, and it's a deck that I did ladder with pretty decently alongside my main deck. I like this deck because I like the toolbox ability. I like any deck with a toolbox ability, like with Noctowl to get trainer cards, and then Greninja EX also has Mirage Shinobi Blade, which allows you to search for any one card. So that's kind of a really nice setup. I think, too, in these decks, I think the Amulet of Ambition would be really nice. When I lose a Pokemon, I get to search for any 3 cards and put them into my hand. It's a Pokemon tool. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and go for an Iono here, get some cards back into my hand. Haven't gotten any prize cards. That's why I'm doing a bunch of spread damage, so that I can continue to use these cards and mitigate how many prize cards I have. Mew EX doesn't do a whole lot in late game other than genome hacking. Its restart isn't really that good. So I think both of us are really just trying to get set up here. I'm trying to do a lot of spread damage and also use my Shinobi Blade to set up Okie Dokie in the back. I really kind of needed Crispin, but I see why I go for Night Stretcher. I'm assuming I'm trying to get Greninja back in case it faints. And it works out perfectly because I'm pretty sure I have a rare candy in my hand. And I also have Froakie and 1 water energy. The fact that you can mitigate the fact that Greninja only takes 1 cost is so phenomenal. So here's where it gets scary. He's got that super energy retrieval. He's also got another ace spec that he plays, that Goldengo plays, that allows them to get 5 of any energy directly into their hand. But it's the only ace spec card. You can play 1 ace spec once, 1 per deck. So he is going to go ahead and get that Cypher Maniacs, Codebreaker, get the coin bonus, get both of those cards into his hand. Whatever he searched, he's going to be in a good position. However, like I said, as long as I'm not triggering Pheasantipity and I'm not letting him get extra card advantage without at least putting myself in a really good situation, then it's going to be fine. Now, Okie Dokie has an ability that it does a lot more damage if you have a Dark Energy attached. So that's kind of a thing, or more HP. And that's really, really important because I believe it deals 130 damage. So it 2-hit KOs Goldengos, and it's not an EX Pokemon, so it's not going to give up that slot. So that's a very, very, very important here. I have a lot in my discard pile, but I also kind of wanted a Crispin so that I could set up a situation. Now, I go Night Stretcher here because I'm going to go ahead and get the Greninja back in my hand. Since I have the Froakie in my hand, I could go ahead and set the Okie Dokie up, go for a good punch for 170, excuse me, not 130, 170. Now, this does turn his flipping the script online with his Pheasantipity. But my thing is, ladies and gentlemen, if he was searching with Cypher Maniacs Code Breaking to try to find cards, and use coin bonus to draw both of those cards into his hand, then both of those cards in his hand that he put in his hand must be super relevant to the strategy we're getting back in the game here. He's not doing a whole lot with the Make It Rain. I mean, 50 here, 50 there, 150 here, but with my massive HP from Excadrill, Okie Dokie, and also the Greninja, I'm putting myself in a really, really good spot. So here is the Kangaskhan. He's got the Kangaskhan. He gets it to his hand. Lavincia, it's weird. It's like he's not recycling the electric energy in the discard pile, but I guess it kind of requires him to play Metal Energy and to have Metal Energy in his hand, so I can kind of understand why Lavincia is not really being triggered. He gets the boss's orders out, and this time he's going to bring in the Excadrill. Now, ladies and gentlemen, my Excadrill has an absolute crap ton of HP, 370. Now, previously, remember, he brought all of those energies back to his hand. And on the premiere of Excadrill and Piercing Drill, it is going to get one-shotted by Goldengo. That is a lot of damage. Now, because he threw all those energies away, I'm not sure how good his recursion is next turn. I'm going to go ahead and Super Rod for 2 waters and a Frogadier, since at this point I was incorrect. I do not actually have what I'm looking for to be the rare candy. But I do have Ultra Ball to search the Frogadier, and then of course I have the Greninja in my hand. So I could 2-hit KO with Good Punch, as I've said. He's got to get, let's see, 5, 7, no, I'm thinking of my favorite card that I play. I'm sorry. It's 50, not 70. So anyway, so now he triggers that Levincey to bring the electric energies to his hand. Now I'm not sure. Oh, there's the super energy retrieval, so he is going to get some metal back on this turn. And it doesn't matter if he takes out Okidogi, just simply because Okidogi is not worth 2 prize cards. So that's going to put me in a situation that I've got enough damage on Gholdengo. We only have 2 prize cards apiece right now. So we're sitting very, very close to the end of the game. And basically the end situation that I want to set up with is being able to knock him out with Greninja's Shinobi Blade, which is 170. I really like that both Okidogi and Greninja both do 170 damage. I think that is just phenomenal all the way around. I think that just makes the entire process of this a lot easier. He is going to knock out the Okidogi, get 1 prize card, but 1 prize card is too little too late because I now have Frogadier. There's the rare candy. You would have been nice a turn ago. We're going to finish this off with a Shinobi Blade, confirm the attack, and down goes the Gholdengo. I am going to add another Greninja to my hand just for props and giggles. And that is the victory. One of the closest matches I've ever had with Gholdengo. But I want you to notice we both did 1,100 damage. I myself with Greninja and him with Gholdengo EX. I hope you guys have enjoyed Trading Card Game Thursday. I couldn't remember if we were on Tuesday or Thursday. I try to do it 2 times a week. We got to get back into it. I've got some last minute cards to pick up here. And thank you guys so much. I'm going to see you guys much sooner than you think. Take care. I'm going to get some rare cards and add them to my deck. I'll see you guys next time. I've got some other really cool TCG strategies I want to share with you guys, and I think you guys will really enjoy them. And don't forget, we've got something else, but I'll show you guys that next week. Take care. See you later.